What is up, y'all? This is Rainbow Fire, the unicorn knows the last unicorn. And the reason you're looking at my Funko Pop Gazelle and a picture of Gazelle, I want to talk. I've been thinking about the past couple of days about Gazelle, the character that I've been doing stories about, and I kind of want to talk about something that's been bothering me. Well, not bothering me, but my mind's been thinking. One of my stories, I'm gonna hold Gazelle as I'm talking about this. Sorry, so you might see my hand. Um, there's a story I've written. That one fan fiction I did about Gazelle. If you haven't seen that story, please check it out. It's an audio fan fiction about me and Gazelle. I mean, me and Zootopia. Um, basically, is one of the most. See, I retold that story a couple days ago. I was But I retold that story like 2 months ago. I retold the story, and that is one of the most sad stories I have ever written, well, ever told. Like I said, guys, I do fan fictions about Zootopia and Lion King, and not just Zootopia. I do fan fictions about Lion King, uh, Zootopia, Dragonheart, Narnia, anything. And as a kid that grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, I loved telling stories. I like making my own fan fictions, and I enjoy it. When Zootopia came out back in 2016, I wasn't really into Zootopia. I wasn't into it. But now that Zootopia came back, Zootopia 2 came out, I am very sorry. There's a lot of people at the college right now. They're talking right now as I'm talking about this. So back when I was young, I used to do a lot of fan fictions. So when Zootopia came out back in 2016, I wasn't really into it. And now that Zootopia came back, I'm into it. And I love it. Now, Gazelle was one of those characters that I kind of restarted listening to her music. As you may know, Gazelle is played by Shakira. Shakira is one of the best singers, one of the best pop singers ever out there. And honestly, I'm really proud that I did stories about this character of Gazelle. And just holding this Funko Pop in my hand reminds me of times that I would, you know, and reminds me of the damn times that I love these characters for who we are. And I'm going to say this right now. The reason I do fan fictions is just to make me happy in life, to make me feel better and feel happy. I don't do these fan fictions to escape from reality. I do these fan fictions to make me happy. And I'm going to talk about this right now. One of the most saddest fan fictions I have ever told was the Zootopia story. I've done sad fan fictions in the past to release off my mind, but this is the most saddest story I've ever released. And I thought, I'll try to retell it. I'll probably try to tell you what happened in the story. So basically, it's about my character, Thunderhoof. He's a street racer in Zootopia. He drives in the middle of the night, every night, and he drives a muscle car, like one of those rat rods with a turbocharger, supercharger coming out of the hood. Like the Fast and Furious, the Dodge Charger. He basically drives something like that. The black Dodge Charger with the supercharger coming out of the hood. What happens next? My character, he drives real fast, and he drives down the highway going, I don't know how fast he goes, like over 100 some miles per hour, weaving out traffic, dodging cars left and right. Next thing you know, as he's doing it, he wrecks the car right in front of Gazelle's tour bus. And just like the Fast and Furious franchise, the car flips up in the air, rolls 4 or 5 times, and lands on the roof. Luckily, he's in a roll cage and a racing harness. And this is when the story gets really sad. Gazelle, the dancing tigers slam the brake on the tour bus. The tour bus comes to a stop. Skid marks, and the traffic comes to a halt. All we just see is a horse in his muscle car upside down. That's me, Thunderhoof. And Gazelle is in shock because she never saw something like this happen before. When the dancing tigers get out of the tour bus, it's pouring down raining, and Gazelle gets out holding her book, talking about her. She was holding her book, and her book for learning to write for new music. Her book was getting soaked because Gazelle was shocked, and she got on her knees crying in tears because she just witnessed something that was so bad and so sad. The dancing tigers, they bust the windows out. They get me out of the car. My horse body is bleeding. I had blood running down my face. My glasses were broke in the story. I'm getting dragged out of the car, and the dancing tigers, they're constantly trying to wake me up, but I'm knocked out. Most people that get into accidents like that are knocked out. And that's the thing, you know? And I don't care, like this, I'm going to mention this right now. The point of the story is, I don't care how good of a driver you are. I don't care if you're a good driver for swimming, weaving out traffic. My character in Zootopia, he was doing that. He was weaving out traffic, he was street racing, basically trying to run his pain out. And the point in the story is, I don't care how good of a driver you are. You could be the best driver. You could be a really good driver, but it takes one wrong move until you crash. And what my character was doing, he was running his pain out. He was driving in the middle of the night in Zootopia, drive like a maniac, trying to run his pain out, to just basically to release stress off of him. Most people would drive cars like fast and they'll do that, you know? And in the end, Gazelle runs up to me, crying in tears, telling me, I know him. I know that horse. That was one of my biggest fans of all Zootopia. That's Thunderhoof. He was my biggest fan. And Gazelle was crying in tears, and she almost witnessed her biggest fan dying. And why did I make this story? You're probably telling me, why did I make this fan fiction about Zootopia? I was feeling upset. And I don't care what people think that doing these Gazelle fan fictions or Zootopia fan fictions, I don't care what they think. It's just something that you have to get off your mind. These fan fictions got me through a lot, man, and that's the thing, too. I used to do these when I was a kid. It wasn't just Zootopia. It was Lion King, Avatar, Narnia, Dragonheart and Narnia and King Arthur and Quest for Camelot. I used to do stories. But those are on cassette tapes and audio cassettes. Me doing this, I'm really thanking the people that made Zootopia too. Because there's so much I could do in this fan fiction. There's so much I could do making more stories about these characters. But I'm only telling you guys this because I'm not ashamed of liking Gazelle from Zootopia. I'm not ashamed of liking her. I just like the story. I like the franchise. I like the characters. I like everything about Zootopia. And I like Lion King too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to stop doing Lion King stories. But when Zootopia 2 came out, I was hooked. And I'm pretty sure Shakira would be really happy that I'm doing stories about Gazelle and other things. Now, I did mention I killed off Gazelle, and yes, I did. The reason I did is because Gazelle is in love with the dancing tiger. And I wanted to put my character with his own lover. Is a street racer, female goth horse, female goth horse that street races, and he's in love with her. So basically, they're dating. My character, Thunderhoof, because he's a Clydesdale. Thunderhoof is a Clydesdale horse, and as for Midnight Rider, she's a goth black horse, mare, female horse. But I'm not going to kill Gazelle off, okay? It doesn't mean I'm going to quit doing Gazelle stories. It just means that I don't want to put, like, relationships in that story with Gazelle, because Gazelle was basically a character that's in love with the dancing tigers. So it's kind of like, my friend told me this: when you put your characters with these creatures, it's kind of cringe. It's really cringe. And I agree with what he says, because it can be cringe to liken these characters for who they are. But like I said, Gazelle, but doing this, but the point of this recording in this video is saying that if you ever feel upset or depressed or whatever, writing your emotions down, or just doing what I just did. I did a fan fiction about Gazelle of Zootopia. I didn't want to make this story about Gazelle. I didn't even want to make this fan fiction about Gazelle. And you know what? When I played the story back, I'll admit this: I cried. I cried. And the story was really great, like I said. And honestly, it was one of the best. I just want to let you guys know that doing these fan fictions is one of the best things I've ever done. But yeah, I'll admit it. Like I said, I was upset when I listened to that story. It was one of the most saddest stories I've ever done in my life. Will I ever do another story like that? Probably not. The only reason I did that story because I was really emotional. I was really sad, and I needed something to comfort myself. But if you like a certain character from a movie or a film or franchise, don't be ashamed. All right. Gazelle is a fictional character from Zootopia that, you know, and honestly, Shakira, if you ever see this, I do want to thank you for playing in Zootopia as Gazelle, and that was one of the best stories. I mean, that was one of the best characters you ever played, because I know you're just a pop singer, I know you're a singer, but, you know, you're a very good singer. I love Zoo, and I love Try Everything. You know, can't give up what you like doing. But I have nothing else to say in this, but I'm just gonna keep holding Gazelle while I'm talking to you guys. But like I said, guys, I love every one of you guys. Will I release this Gazelle story out to the world? Probably not. It's really sad, and it gets emotional. I'll admit I do cry a little bit in the story because I was really emotional that day. I was very upset. So, like I said, if you're ever feeling down, depressed, and sad, just do a story, do a fan fiction about anything. Zootopia, Lion King, anything. Or just write it down in a diary about your emotions, and it does help. But me doing stories about Zootopia and all these fan fictions about Zootopia, that's what I do. And that's how I cope. But yeah. Alright, guys, I gotta wrap this up, but I gotta get out of here too, because I want to go for a walk around the college. Yeah, I'm at college right now, so that's why you heard that door open. But yeah, that's it, guys. Peace out. But yeah, this is Thunderhoof, known as Rainbow Fire the Unicorn. Peace out. Peace.